Well, and that was the one of the great reasons for this big resurgence of or explosion of rotary machines is that the machine does operate basically, if you keep it oiled, the mechanism oiled or whatever, it does run the same way every time. And that was something that people like me that came up in the coil eras that I tattooed based on how my machine was behaving that day, and that was the main thing that along with the weight that kind of pushed people away from coils and into rotaries in the first place is just consistency. So if you can further that consistency with a power supply or with new technologies, where I know this rotary does the same thing every time I turn it on, and if it's not getting ink in this person's skin the way that it did the person's skin yesterday, then now I have this other set of tools that might help me determine what steps to take next to make sure that I can get through this thicker skin or softer skin or whatever it is.
Yep, just like I guess any problem, you need to identify, your variables and areas that you have control over first. In this formula that I'm presenting, you have control over certain things that are inputs to the variable, like the grouping width. That's just going to be a factor of what grouping you need to use to get the job done. So that's not really something you could select a different grouping, but at the end of the day, choose a different needle size. But at the end of the day, that's outside of your control. And once you select it, it's a fixed. It's not changing as long as you're using that grouping. The needle's not getting smaller. The spacing isn't changing. That's a fixed now that you've selected it. Mm-hmm. So that's just like if we look at the other variable on the hand speed, it's a frequency. So now if you can fix that frequency, now the only variable left is your hand speed.